Classified crime is on the case of Shanna Gardner. So this article was really interesting to me because it's talking about her behavior in jail. It does go a little bit into her backstory for those of you who haven't heard about it. So let's read this article from News for Jax. Shanna Gardner, accused in murder for hire case, stole from inmate, had makeshift tattoo device in jail, report says. Gardner, estranged husband, Mario Fernandez, both accused in 2022 murder of Jared Britigan, Gardner's ex-husband. A lot going on just there in that title. Jacksonville, Florida. Disciplinary records obtained by News4Jax show that Shanna Gardner, who is accused of hiring someone to kill her ex-husband, was disciplined and accused of theft, disorderly conduct, lying to a staff member, and possessing a makeshift tattoo device. According to the records, Gardner was seen last year going into a cell and taking commissary items costing more than $50 from an inmate, and the items were later found under her bunk. When confronted, Gardner had nothing to say, according to the report. In January, a corrections officer said they discovered a pencil with a sharp metal object tied to the eraser end using thread, which suggested that it was being utilized as a makeshift tattoo gun. Gardner said it was not hers and that someone was trying to set her up, but her commissary and visitation privileges were revoked for 2 weeks, records show. Gardner and her estranged husband, Mario Fernandez, are accused in the 2022 murder of Jared Britigan, Gardner's ex-husband. Britigan, a 33-year-old father of 4, was killed in an ambush-style shooting in Jacksonville Beach in 2022. Gardner and Fernandez are under indictment for first-degree murder in Britigan's killing, and both face the possibility of the death penalty. Very interesting. Jury selection in the murder for hire case is scheduled for October 20th, so that's this fall. I am interested in attending part of this trial. So let's take a look at this one. Shanna Gardner's estranged husband's phone pinged at rental property for man who shot Jared Britigan, docs show. This is another article from News4Jax. And here is Shanna, her estranged husband, Mario Fernandez, and Henry Tenon. Pictures of each of them. Jacksonville, Florida, newly released documents in the case of the murder for hire plot to kill Jared Britigan outline everything from comments made during a search of his ex-wife Shanna Gardner's parents' property in Washington to the defendant's movements before and after the murder. Britigan was shot and killed in 2022 after he dropped off the twins he shared with his ex-wife at her home in Jacksonville Beach. He had stopped to remove a tire from the road and was ambushed in the street. It sounds like someone was following him to ambush him quickly like that. Gardner and her estranged husband, Mario Fernandez, are under indictment for first-degree murder in Britigan's death, and both face the possibility of the death penalty. Gardner and Fernandez are accused of hiring Fernandez's former tenant, Henry Tenon, to kill Britigan. Tenon has pleaded guilty to being the triggerman. According to a 250-page document from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, in the search of Gardner's parents' Washington home, it appears one of her children asked the special agent, "What are they looking for?" "We're looking for phones," the document said. The agent replied. Though the person's name was redacted in the document, they responded, "Like burner phones?" A child said that? It says one of her children, and that is crazy. The document then said the person told the special agent that his mom keeps all her important electronics in her bedroom closet, and then whispered up above, pointing toward the ceiling. Oh my gosh, why does her child know about that? I mean, obviously she's explained it all or talked about it in front of them. Oh, I'm speechless about that. I can't even wrap my mind around that. The document said investigators took cell phones, an Apple Watch, SIM cards, and several laptops, plural. The documents also discussed Fernandez stating his phone pinged at the rental property where Tenon was staying. Which, I mean, if someone is your tenant at the time, that would not be too crazy for you to have your phone ping at a property that you own and are renting out. But if he's a former tenant, I don't know. I think that he's a former tenant now, of course, because Fernandez is in jail and probably can't be a landlord. But this is saying that his phone pinged at the rental property. But it doesn't say whether Fernandez owned that rental property where he was staying or not. I'm not clear on that. According to the documents, his phone pinged for 15 minutes in the morning and an hour in the evening the day before Britigan was killed. So obviously Tenon and Fernandez were in some way fraternizing for an hour and 15 minutes the day before the event happened. A tire matching the one Britigan was trying to remove from the road when he was ambushed was also found on the property. Oh, so they set him up, potentially. So if they put the tire in the road in such a way that he couldn't necessarily go around it, like they placed it strategically where he would have to get out and then ambush him, it looks like they planned that based on that evidence. Tenon's truck was caught on video just after the shooting. The documents revealed that a man named Jimmy Jones Jr. had the truck in his backyard for 3 to 4 months after Tenon had it towed there. So he hit his truck. All of this is very suspicious. I mean, none of it is looking good. The document said Jones tried calling Tenon, but the calls went to voicemail. Jones then asked law enforcement if the truck was involved in something criminal. The detectives replied they thought so, but did not believe Jones was involved, the document said. Gardner and Fernandez are expected back in court later in September. Now, this was back in 2024 that this was written. Let's see the dates. Yeah, September 5th, 2024. This was written. So, wow, this case has a lot of crazy details. I am going to be looking more into this, and I am thinking about possibly attending the trial. They have jury selection in October of 2025. That's what it's scheduled. So if there's no continuance, if everything goes according to plan, that's when it would be scheduled for tentatively. So I am looking at October to see, if it would even be possible to even maybe go live outside of the courthouse, or if I could get in, that would be amazing. You're not allowed to bring phones into a Duval County courthouse, I read, but you can bring tablet or laptop, apparently. I will double check on that, but I am looking into that very seriously. And I have been looking through some of the documentation because her behavior, Shanna Gardner's behavior in jail, and then just the sheer gall of how elaborate this case is, if all the alleged things are true, is just baffling. So her jail behavior is very intriguing, and I do plan on following up on that. So let me know if you're interested in this case, and thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe.